Some people call this land the bush or the savanna. Others call it animal or forest conservation areas or wilderness. For me and my family, this land is home.
Edward Loure was born and raised on the Maasai steppe or grasslands of Tanzania. His life, like every other Maasai before him, has always been devoted to being a pastoralist, a nomadic herder.
Being a Maasai is composed of three key attributes, namely cattle, natural resources, and Maasai culture and traditions. These three attributes make a Maasai.
Edward and the Ujamaa resource team realized that they needed to protect the Maasai's traditional grazing lands from encroachments on their nomadic way of life.
The main problem for the pastoralist community is land grabbing. As I grew older, I noticed that our herding lands were shrinking drastically due to illegal farming, tourism, and development. They closed the routes used by the pastoralists, which derailed our herding activities. Suddenly, we started to feel our access being blocked.
With encouragement from the Maasai elders, under Edward's leadership, the team saw an opportunity to establish communal rights to the lands they had been stewarding for years. But the process of establishing their ownership was a daunting task.
Our people knew that land ownership deeds are issued to individuals. But together with the UCRT legal team, we learned that there was a possibility of securing our pastoral lands and also the Hadza communal lands.
The Hadza are one of the oldest surviving cultures. They've been living by hunting and gathering for 40,000 years. The team met with the Hadza and began to garner their trust for their plan to secure community land rights.
The Hadza have a very rich culture that would be lost if their land was taken from them. They are very clever and have expertise in animal tracking, making traditional weapons to hunt, and gathering fruits and roots and honey from the forest. First of all, we needed to have a land use plan set in place, and then we identified specific areas for hunting, gathering, and grazing. Then we applied for a CCRO, Certificate of Customary Right of Occupancy. Then, through lobbying the government and preparing all the documentation on the property, we finally achieved ownership of our lands.
Edward and the Ujamaa community resource team's exhausted efforts paid off. They successfully secured over 200,000 acres of land for the indigenous tribes of northern Tanzania.
This work is challenging, but all in all, I love what I do. Everything is done with the aim of seeking ways to help the pastoralists and the community. When we have a healthy environment, healthy pastures, we have healthy livestock. The outcome will be a healthy society.
For outstanding environmental achievement for Africa, the 2016 Goldman Environmental Prize is awarded to Edward Loure, Maasai Steppe, Tanzania.